It's the middle of the day in Bridgeton, New Jersey. But even with the sun in the sky, there's a full moon on display in this neighbor's yard.
Please, can you cover your ass, please? Pull your pants up, please.
This is not the first time this man has exposed himself to his neighbors.
Pulled your pants up yet? We're tired of seeing it. Oh, okay. Okay.
Since these videos were shot, the neighbor has had a conversation with the local police and has since kept his pants up anytime he is outside and exposed to the neighborhood. They say if you do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. Which is why Henry Benson starts his business maintaining lawns in the neighborhood he grew up in.
I'm in love with plants, I'm in love with nature. I treat every backyard like it's my own.
One afternoon, Henry is working on a client's lawn when the client's neighbor, who he claims has given him trouble in the past, steps outside and, according to Henry, starts scolding him.
My least favorite part of my work would probably be some of the neighbors of the customers I'm working at.
This lady wants to mess with me every time I'm here, saying I'm blowing grass clippings on her grass. We're trying to work. Craziness. Shut up.
I went around and said, lady, I don't have time for this today.
Please move out of the way. All of this is gonna shoot.
The neighbor is accusing Henry of blowing lawn clippings into her yard. But Henry claims that's not possible for how he is cutting the grass.
On my lawnmower, my chute's on the right-hand side, so I always line up with my left-hand side in between the properties, debris shooting towards my customer's house.
Back up, bro. Get away from my mower.
She has her daughter coming up next.
You're about to get dirty. No. Please move out of the way.
Her husband is the reason I even got off my lawnmower. I put my camera down.
I'm about to clean you up.
What is your stop right now. Now you're on my yard. Get the out. You're on my yard.
I'm trying to protect you from shooting debris.
Yeah, okay.
From shooting debris. Do you understand how a lawnmower works?
Yes.
I made a line.
Exactly.
Now make another line.
You're shooting right in my yard.
Put your in my.
The neighbor's husband backs off and dials 911 off camera.
Shut your mouth. Stop talking to me. You're costing me money now.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, I know you are.
Good, man. You mind just blowing off?
Minutes later, the police arrive, and Henry tries to calmly explain the whole situation.
My mower half, and I shot everything this way. And
He saw the grass blades being blown this way. He knew exactly that I was not trying to start anything. I was just trying to work.
The officers talk to the neighbor, and she offers a solution. One that Henry says he sees coming from a mile away.
You mind just blowing off the fresh grass?
she does this every time she cuts her grass. They don't have a weed whacker and a blower, and you can see all the dried grass clippings.
Sure.
That's from her. She wants me to do free labor for her every time.
And after she cuts her grass and she leaves her grass clippings there just to ask them the same thing she always does. Can you blow this down for me?
Henry clears up both the neighbor and his client's yard and heads home.
I'm billing that bitch. I'm billing her.
But the uneasy situation with the neighbors still persists to this day. And next time, Henry hopes to keep his temper in check.
I'm supposed to hold myself to a higher accountability as a professional. If I can say anything to these neighbors without it becoming any kind of argument, we can easily have a discussion about anything. And just let me work, please.
Stop right now. Now you're on my yard. Get the
Let's go. Go ahead, do it.
In an apartment complex in South Amboy, New Jersey, a dispute between two pet owners is causing a ruckus. The men are next-door neighbors, and the taller cat owner goads the shorter dog owner to hit him as the dog snaps at his heels. The woman recording from the balcony is the girlfriend of the taller man, and they claim that the shorter man's dog has injured their cat.
You came out here for a reason. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go. You don't have to be scared.
Yo, why don't you get your dog?
The cat owner is angry as he feels the dog owner does not supervise his animal properly.
Who got the dog loose? Was it you, him, or me? Come on, man. My cat is bleeding, bro. I apologize. You gotta understand my frustration. When I asked you a month ago, personally, if you see my cat, control your dog.
At this point, the dog owner's wife chimes in.
How can you tell us that your dog is chasing our cat?
My cat ain't biting your dog. Your dog is biting my cat.
As the mood becomes even more tense, the cat owner turns to his girlfriend and ratchets things up a notch.
Hey, you know what? You want to yell at me? You got that all on video? Call the cops. You see that?
Suddenly, the dog starts trying to bite the cat owner, and this incenses his girlfriend.
You don't even know how to control the dog. You're letting him attack him while I get it all on video. That's yeah, you shut the up, man.
Without warning, the dog owner rushes towards her,
Yeah, I bet you will.
and the cat owner jumps onto the balcony to defend his girlfriend.
Big man, bro, big man.
In a rage, he throws punches and yanks the man over. As the dog owner's wife attempts to climb over the balcony, the cat owners retreat into their home, but the neighbor battle is not over.
Open the door. Call the cops.
According to the couple, the police arrive and watch the video, but it's unclear what action is taken. After a visit to the vet, the injured cat Leo is now fully recovered. The neighbors still live next door to each other and, according to the cat owner, are trying to be friendly and put this situation behind them.
Big man, bro, big man.
The lesson learned is that if left unchecked, pet feuds can turn into neighborhood wars.
Don't touch him. Calm down.
Call the cops.
Randolph, New Jersey, where 42-year-old David Timpanero has lived peacefully for 10 years with his wife and son, until now.
Can I help you? Can I help you?
I would say our town has been pretty low-key for many years. Recently, everything has changed. Just a lot of disagreements around politics.
This year, David places a sign in his yard for his preferred candidate in the Board of Education election, as he's always done. But one morning, he wakes up to find an unknown neighbor has put another sign in his yard for a candidate he does not endorse.
I don't like people just putting things on my property without asking me. It gives the perception that I'm aligned with that belief of whatever that person stands for.
At first, David thinks the sign has been put there because he lives on a busy intersection. When he sees someone recording his reaction from across the street, he suspects the sign was put there to antagonize him.
Can I help you? Can I help you?
If it's the woman I'm thinking it is, I know that this is just bad news waiting to happen. As she gets to her car, her daughter jumps out of the car. And that moment is when I realized who it was.
Oh, there we go.
David recognizes the pair as his neighbors, a mother and daughter who he has a long-running feud with about local politics.
You want a phone call from my lawyers, Dave?
Once I realized who it is, it's like, of course it's them. And I didn't like it at all. They've bitten off more than they can chew.
I'm gonna call the
I
police.
told you once, leave me alone, don't come near my home, or it's considered harassment, and here you are. Thank you for coming by.
Dave, I'm calling the police on you.
I know I didn't do anything wrong, but I'm obviously nervous. I'm nervous because I don't know what she's capable of.
And by the way, now you're taking a picture of inappropriate pictures of me because of what I am wearing. So guess what? Now I'm really calling the police on you.
Cool. You wear it outside and come by my house.
I tried to stay calm, end the situation, and walk away, but I started shouting back and screaming back at her.
I knew you did it, Eliza. I knew you did it. I knew it. I knew it. Don't you ever come by my house again? Stop where you are. Stop where you are right now. You came over here with the intention.
I took a picture.
I don't give a what you did. You came over here intentionally to harass me.
No, I did not.
Get the out of here. When the cops come, I'll be sitting there. Because I knew you were coming.
Finally, the duo leave. Later, they file a police report alleging sexual harassment by Dave. But as they turned up to his property, the police take no action. However, now it's awkward when he runs into them around town.
I've completely avoided them and ignored them.
It turns out that both their candidates are elected to the Board of Education. But in the future, he hopes his neighbors will respect each other's opinions.
I hope at some point our community can get past this. If you want to get things done, we have a better chance of getting it done together than working against each other.
You want a phone call from my lawyers, Dave?
Resting in the shadow of New York City, Bayonne, New Jersey shares many of its issues, packing lots of neighbors into a small space. fertile grounds for neighborhood wars.
This is Bayonne.
And 42-year-old Bayonne resident Tamika Bordeaux is heading to her neighborhood convenience store when she hears a woman yelling at her neighbor. Suddenly, the woman turns her wrath towards Tamika, and she starts recording.
This bitch ran after me for no reason at all. She's not minding her business. You nasty wig-headed bitch. Black bitch.
The lady's comments intensify as she appears to follow Tamika down the sidewalk.
Here she go.
Black. Call them. Call the cops.
How long you me and
You went into my street. You followed me.
No, I actually live on that block.
Tamika walks to the closest neighborhood convenience store for refuge when, suddenly, a concerned neighbor steps in.
Stay off the block because you did it the other night to come. She's following. You're following her.
Yep.
I saw the whole thing, bitch. Yeah.
Yep.
You're gonna get your ass being a racist.
She don't follow me all the way from my house.
She did that 2 weeks ago over there.
Not standing for the woman's comments, the valiant neighbor in the navy hoodie becomes even more incensed.
You don't talk to people like that, bitch. You don't talk to people like that.
The woman in the beige coat backs away, and with things calmer, Tamika gives her thanks for the bravery of her neighbor.
You see how she walked away? I appreciate you so much for that because if nobody said anything, she wasn't gonna stop, and that's.
I want to go over there and punch her in her face.
Still get in trouble.
I'd have your back.
It's okay. It's all right. Thank you.
The cops arrive, and Tamika decides to press charges against her neighbor. She is charged with a hate crime and receives a year of probation. And while Tamika is shaken, she's thankful that the rest of her neighbors make her neighborhood a place for everyone.
You don't talk to people like that, bitch!
Deptford is a quiet suburb in New Jersey, and where George Nagus, the man driving the car in this video, believes would be a perfect place to settle down and raise a family. Even the fake blue palm trees in his next-door neighbor's yard don't put him off spending his entire savings on his first house. However, after he moves in, a dispute with the same neighbor over the property boundary threatens to derail his new life.
Don't come over my side anymore.
Where that post is my property line?
No, your
Just step back.
Your property line is back there.
You don't know where the property line is? You do it again. I had a surveyor on here. You can try to take me all you want. I really don't care.
Where is your surveyor?
Don't worry about it.
Show me the markers.
I have to show you. I have to show you.
The neighbor is claiming the fence line is inaccurate, and the caution tape is the actual property line.
It's my post.
You don't know who you're with.
Okay, coward.
Well, come on over and meet me in the street if I'm a coward, punk. Meet me in the street. Let's go.
You see your...
Let's go.
You
and
see...
me, let's go, punk.
You see your fence?
You call me a coward? Let's go.
You see your fence? Don't come on... Don't call...
Come over there right now.
Now you're trespassing.
I'll come right on my property.
Now you're trespassing. Boom.
Property right here.
You're
right
trespassing.
Here's my property line. Right here. Come on. I'll call the cops if I'm trespassing.
And in fact, in the past 2 years, George has called the police at least 6 times.
Okay.
You're
Who jumped over whose fence?
This is my property, dude. I'm a little bitch.
Keep acting like that.
Who can argue with the neighbor who invents his own property line dance? Definitely not George. He can barely contain his laughter.
You ain't gonna move me at all. I'll stay right here all day.
You stay there. I got all day too.
Okay, good.
In no mood to back down, the neighbor starts hammering in post where he thinks the boundary should be.
Now you're threatening me.
That's your head right there. See it going in the ground?
Now you're threatening me. That will be showed to the prosecutor.
Oh, you big shut up.
While most disputes are settled on the local township level, this one goes to court.
That post will be ripped out.
Okay, show your ass.
Turns out that George owns more than he thinks, and the neighbor is forced to move his fence 3 feet back. The judge issues a no-contact order to prevent any further harassment.
See you later, girlfriend.
This truce holds for a while. But recently, the neighbor is seen recklessly firing a BB gun in his yard, and George reports him to the cops. They don't press charges, but this local war rages on.
I'm a little bitch.
Little Egg, New Jersey is a small, laid-back township on the Atlantic Ocean, where Eliza and Brad Rhodes relocate from the city with Brad's parents.
Brad and I and Brad's parents all moved down together. It was a new start, living on the water. It's a small shore town, so people have lived here generation after generation. We thought this was the perfect neighborhood until we met our next door neighbors. Our neighbors are an older couple who have lived here for over 40 years.
According to Eliza, the first warning sign is when the neighbors make an unusual complaint.
They didn't like the smell of our dryer sheets because our vent faces the side of their house. So we went out and bought dryer balls because we're trying to accommodate because we're the new family in town.
And then whatever it was, they would pick out the next thing.
In the following months, the neighbors become more antisocial. So Eliza and Brad start to record them, and it only adds to the weirdness when the neighbor starts cackling at them.
She sounds like a witch.
Even though the neighbor is taking pictures of Brad and Eliza, she is annoyed that they are recording her. So one day, when Brad is in the front yard, her husband launches a verbal attack.
Head in the ground, you piece of.
You will? Is that all
Stalker, stalker, stalker,
What's the matter?
stalker! That's you
You're crazy.
Yeah, you're crazy. Then what are you doing with the
crazy.
phone? Get the phone out of here.
So now you hit.
Yeah, I hit you, you piece.
When it became physical, it took it to a whole other level. Once that line was crossed, we were afraid. We didn't know where the next step was gonna go.
But what happens next is worse than Eliza and Brad could ever imagine. Eliza Rhodes is shocked that her neighbors have gone online, discovered she has a criminal record from years ago for buying and possessing drugs, and are using this information to harass her.
I was a heroin addict, and I did whatever I had to do to get the next one. And then got sober, met Brad, got sober.
Felons.
Eliza has now been drug and alcohol free for 8 years.
You're felons. You're felons.
And works to help others in recovery, so she finds her neighbors' taunts tough to take.
I feel very judged, actually tearing up. It was actually really hard to hear every single day all of these horrific things I had done while in my addiction.
And the insults only get worse.
You make me sick to look at you. When I see you, I want to throw the up.
This is what the neighborhood has to put up with.
It would be daily. They would yell constantly.
Are you drunk? Are you high?
Shut up.
You. Pig. Look at that pushed-in face. Incestuous.
Eliza and Brad report their neighbors to the police.
Just give me your driver's license number. I will issue you something.
But the neighbors also call the cops with wild claims of their own that are untrue.
We got investigated for running a meth house,
Elder abuse. Yeah.
holding someone hostage in the house, and literally the cops were on this street every single day.
But just as Eliza and Brad are in the process of taking the neighbors to court, suddenly everything changes. After 3.5 difficult years,
You're a stupid.
they get the welcome news that their neighbors
You deserve to be in
You almost hit me.
are relocating to a different state. They don't know why, but they're just happy that they're gone.
Since our neighbors have moved, Brad and I will go out back and sit in the hammock at night and look at the stars, and we couldn't do that before. Couldn't enjoy the yard. Couldn't enjoy the water. Today we can.
If you're stupid, you belong in a nursing home. Because you got dementia.
If I could say anything to my neighbors, I would say, 1, you reap what you sow. 2, karma. The third thing I would say is, we didn't give up as a family, and we won.
In Oceanport, New Jersey, retiree and keen photographer Ruben Martinez loves to take his dogs Ruby and Oliver to the shore to capture the beautiful sunsets. However, today,
No, go ahead and say that again. Go ahead.
Here, take my
Go
picture.
back to and where I came from?
Yes,
really?
where you came from.
I'm an American.
When Ruben, who is Mexican-American, parks his car in a public spot at the end of this cul-de-sac, a woman and her neighbor start yelling at him. Fearing for his own safety, Ruben starts recording.
Here, take my
Go
picture.
back to and where I came from?
Yes,
really?
where you came from.
I'm an American.
Realizing he's being filmed, one neighbor decides to leave, but the woman is up close and agitated.
Wherever you came from, go back there. Long Branch.
That is so racist.
As the neighbor refuses to back down, the confrontation becomes even more tense.
Get out of here. Wherever you came from, go back there.
What a racist...
Go back there.
My home that I bought and paid taxes for is in West Long Branch.
Okay.
West Long Branch is the next town over, but this neighbor is riled up and just won't quit.
Your finger out of my face.
Dogs.
They're small little dogs,
I don't
okay?
care. They're disrupting the entire neighborhood.
I can't believe that somebody could
You're
be
aggravating. Your dogs are aggravating.
I'm aggravating?
And you're aggravating. So take your camera, take your selfie stick, take your dogs, and get the out of here.
What is your name?
My name is Rita.
Okay, so I have your permission to post this?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. That's really nice.
Absolutely.
After this video goes viral, Rita moves away, and Ruben relocates to Reno, Nevada, where he is welcomed by his neighbors, can photograph more beautiful sunsets, and walk his dogs in peace. One winter afternoon, this retired 911 operator gets an unusual call at home asking for help.
And it's a guy on there crying, saying that he's been in an accident and that he's my grandson, and now he was in a jail in New Jersey someplace.
But instead of taking the bait, this veteran essential worker lays a trap of her own to stop the scammer from targeting her neighbors.
And the last thing I said to him before I hung up was, I'll handle this. And I think that's kind of what hooked the guy into thinking that I was really falling for the scam.
A common swindle. This man is trying to convince Jean that her grandson is in trouble and needs her money to help him out of a jam.
Next thing I know, they're calling me back. He asked me if I could handle $8,000 worth of bail. So then I called the police and they sent 2 officers over.
When the officers arrive, they hatch a plan with Jean to catch the scammer.
Guy is still calling, and then he says to me, I just so happen to have somebody 10 minutes away. And then the cops told me what to do. And within 5 minutes, a guy's walking up to my door asking me for the envelope with the cash in it.
Nervous to meet the potential thief, Jean follows the officer's instructions to the letter as soon as the scammer knocks on her door.
Hello? Hi. I wanted the envelope to look legit, so I folded up a bunch of paper towels, put it inside the envelope. Right. Okay. Have a good one. Okay. He just took it, he turned around, went down 2 steps, and then he was in custody.
Yeah, I'm here. And guess what? Anybody want to talk to the guy on the phone? I'm still here, and he has the envelope. I guess he realized what happened.
My neighbors across the street were like, holy smokes, what the heck's going on over there?
The suspect is arrested and charged with attempted grand larceny and is currently out on bail awaiting trial. Word of Jean's heroics quickly spreads around the neighborhood and even beyond.
All of a sudden, everybody in Seaford, especially people I know, what happened, what happened? So I heard from a lot of my neighbors. I heard from my grandkids' friends.
In fact, her neighbors are hoping she comes out of retirement.
People are sending me messages, can you go on patrol at night and look for the thieves? I'm like, I don't think so.
So it just goes to show. Anyone can be a neighborhood hero.
I stayed calm, I played his game, and apparently he thought I was falling for him, but he fell for me.
When you move to a new neighborhood, you never know what kind of neighbors you'll have. Unless you're like Alex in Santiago.
We've been best friends since, 15, 16 years, something like that. He's super annoying.
I love this guy.
Love you, brother.
As Alex's drone camera shows, After 20 years of friendship, these two best buddies moved to the New Jersey suburbs in 2021, right across the street from each other.
Hey, what if we just like buy houses next to each other, like on, across the street or something?
Everybody jokes about that.
Yeah, but we made it happen.
Yeah. Living next to your neighbor isn't quite what we thought it would be. We thought it'd be like slumber parties every day type stuff.
Hey!
It's not long before a neighborhood prank war is in full swing.
We've been playing pranks on each other for a long time.
Yeah. Obviously, after we moved in, it escalated.
One of his videos hit like 100,000 views.
The friends turned neighbors begin documenting their pranks for social media.
And he called me like, dude, you have to make a video. We went viral. Everybody's like asking for the other guy's POV. So I made one video, and within 24 hours, I was like at 2 million views.
Look at that. What are you doing? Is he doing Zumba?
And it just kept going from there.
Videos of their neighborhood antics are now wildly popular.
The best prank that he did to me was, it probably is the drone. That's 100%. Yeah.
I couldn't wrap my mind around how I could get him in such a way as to where there was no possible way he could one-up me. And I thought, he doesn't have a drone, but I do. So I thought it'd be pretty epic to walk my dogs for once, right? Gather their poop, and then fly it over with my drone to his house and release it on his front lawn. And all I thought to myself is, if this thing lands on somebody else's house, it's gonna be a problem. Like if the whole thing just falls out of the sky.
But for these neighboring friends, they've created more than just social media hype.
There goes the neighborhood.
Some people are probably like, here these guys go again. And then there's the other people are like, here these guys go again.
Or they're watching from their windows so jealous they're not playing with us.
They've created a home.
I just wanted to have a collection of memories where I just do the dumbest things to him.
Also that, I guess.
And everyone in their neighborhood should expect the pranks to continue.
I definitely have some things up my sleeve.
I do. I definitely.
You don't even sound confident right now. I got some things cooking,
Because the thing is, it's reactionary. I have to wait for him to do something.
Oh. Boy?
Yeah.
Making this neighborhood prank war one for the ages.
You're a special kind of piece of work, man.
It's an afternoon like any other in the sleepy coastal community of Little Egg Harbor, New Jersey. Homeowner Michael Nicastro has known many days just like it.
I've lived here about 7 years, and it's a pretty quiet neighborhood. I'm very close with my neighbors that are right around me, and we all stick together and look out for each other.
But this seemingly idyllic slice of suburbia is not without its problems.
The neighbor down the street, he has these 3 large dogs that get loose all the time. They have bitten multiple people, at least 3 that I know of. They actually bit a kid, and the mother that tried to get him off of her child. And they also bit a fireman in the leg. Cops have been there, but they really hadn't taken the dogs away or did anything about it as far as we know.
The dogs continue to be a nuisance around the neighborhood over the next year. Then one day, things take a turn for the worst.
We got back from the store, we heard some screaming on the other block. That's when we went around to see what was going on and seen the dogs biting a lady.
3 giant pit bulls around back.
We went back home to get out of their way. And as we were there at the house, that's when I realized it was about the time when my neighbor was going to come to the house to get her granddaughter off the bus. So I went over when I seen her car to warn her about it.
See, like 4 people get bit already.
And that's when all of a sudden I turned around and the dogs were running across the yard at us.
The pit bull's irresponsible owner is nowhere in sight, and his dogs seem totally untrained. Surrounded and outnumbered, Michael swings a piece of pipe to hold them off.
You know, the adrenaline was kicking in, my heart was racing, and I was just doing my best to keep them away from me. I've owned many dogs. I love dogs, but these dogs were the most aggressive dogs I ever encountered in my life. I didn't want her to get bit, so I just tried to hold them off the best I could until she can get in the house. I think it was only 25 seconds. And at the time, the police had pulled up, and as they pulled up, the dogs turned and ran that way.
Law enforcement are finally able to gain control of the dogs and get everyone in the neighborhood inside to safety.
The animal rescue showed up. They got them into a van and took them away. I don't know where the dogs are now, but the owner had just received a sentence of 30 days in jail and a $1,000 fine.
In total, 5 people in the neighborhood were bitten that day. But thanks to Michael's actions, there wasn't a 6th.
My immediate neighbors, we all get along, we're like family. We are always together all weekend long. A lot of people are saying I was basically a hero, but I don't look at it like that. We always watch out for each other.